Green Thumb Farmer here. I'm going to show off my new housing pack that we're releasing soon. So I'll go through all 8 of the buildings. So I got a little demo area set up over here on the map. So just a reminder, this mod is specific to PV Canyon Crossing by DashNet. Oh, I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Right on top. So they're under the PV mods tab. They're under housing. Scroll over, and we have 5 apartment buildings. These just provide labor, and then we have 3 different, I guess, more skyscraper, high-rise style homes, and these will provide labor plus morale. And the other, I keep forgetting the other one. So again, like I said, I just set up my road's a little wide, and again, when you're placing something that's quite large, you may need to practice a few times. So I'm just trying to center it up with my center line. Again, I'm gonna have to go back and touch it up anyway. So we'll start off with this one. Okay, so they are buildable. And just to remind, if anybody hasn't been catching my streams lately when I've been talking about these, they do have the occluder, so you can see the occluders blocking out the trees, even though we haven't built the building. It's still in place there. So there's 2 different sizes here for the other building. So this is a smaller one. So again, trying to figure out a good place to place it. I should move it down a bit. Okay. And like I said, it's trying to, oops. Again, because of doing the demo video here, you're not going to be, you might put these side by side, but you're not going to be building a whole bunch of them all at once, unless you've been stockpiling all your materials up. And what I'm going to do for the other ones, just to show off a bit of what can be done. So I'm just going to pick one of them on this side. It's so funny because, okay, there's, and I know I didn't come and level this field. That's what I didn't do. I don't know how that. So on this side, I'm just going to do a quick 3. And on the other side, again, because of the occluder, it's causing me a little bit of fun. So here on this side, I'm going to put all 5 down. And again, I like having the fence because you can really easy to line them up. If you're going to do a whole bunch in a row, which these aren't too bad for building material wise, the smaller ones. So you could save up, but usually you need the labor to run the factory. So it's kind of a what to do first kind of thing. But again, at some point in the game, you're just going to have like tons of labor, usually labor. That's what I found. Playing in BC Acres, I had tons of labor and I was always fighting to keep up with the other stuff. Okay, so again, all the buildings have the occluder mesh added, so you can see, even though the building isn't built, the occluder mesh is there. I've tried to figure out a way to have it, come in later, but you can see how it's rendering in everything else behind it, which is something new for FS22. Oh, and I thought I had saved this before starting the video, but I guess not. Oh, I'm flying. I keep thinking I'm in build mode. Yeah, it's nice having the easy dev, so you don't have to. I don't have to fill all these manually for demonstration purposes. Yeah, you can see I should have. I never even thought of field. I thought the field was flat. I should have flattened the field. So if this was in, if I was doing this in my save game, I would have definitely flattened the area out first. And I didn't when I was prepping this field. Didn't come along, so I might have some little bit of bumps, but like I said, I would have flattened them out if I was this was my actual save game. And again, in your save game, odds of you placing this many of these buildings down at once is highly unlikely. Okay, so we've got them. Oh no, we didn't. I forgot I did 3 of them over here. Okay, so we got them all filled up. So let's speed up. It takes about, we're at 8 o'clock. It takes about 14.5 hours roughly, so we should finish around 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's always not recommended to go full speed, but for the shortness, to shorten down the video, I'm going to go 360. I'm not going to go any faster. I will try and slow down because it's the ending. I seem to have some things being left over if I try and go full speed past the completion of the building. So always be mindful of that, right? And that's with any of the buildables on PV Canyon Crossing. You never want to go speed up time right to the end of the build. Again, it has to do with the way productions do the cycles, right? So it may not end up with the cycle ending properly. And I've had the warning stripes show up at the end. I've had some fence sections not disappear because they're one of the last things in the file in the i3D that the game is supposed to remove or make invisible or whatever they do to it. Okay, so they do build, again, with speeding up time, and with the occluder mesh, it's kind of funky watching them, I find. Like I said, they're coming in big chunks. So if you're leaving this at, half speed or 1 speed, whatever you normally play at, you would see everything coming in a little bit better. All right, so if we slowed down, again, going down to 1 times even gets harder. And again, it's the occluder. The occluder mesh is on the outside, and I can't go inside because there's a collision. So they do flicker. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do. Like I said, the occluder mesh, adding the occluder mesh is the flickering because it's rendering in and out of different pieces. And it's supposed to block anything. So unfortunately, like I said, it's not too bad from ground level. Flying around, different story. Back up again. Right, so on these ones, we have a brick one, we have a block one, so the materials, the main, there's all concrete in all of them, and then there's a brick, and then all the other materials are the same. This one, like I said, is a block one, and then we have another brick one with a different brick texture. This one I'm calling a stone, so this one has a high stone amount because stone's very abundant on the map. and I tried to make the cost of all the materials. So I actually did go and calculate all the cost of adding up all the cost of these materials. So that's why stone is set so much higher than brick and block. And then we have another block one with, again, another different block texture. So there's 5 different buildings. And like I said, I placed 3 of them. You could, if you place one at a time, like built one and then place the second one, you could literally get them to touch and it would look perfectly fine. Of course, you'd see the seam to an extent, but you could place them right side by side if you wanted to make them look like total row apartments. I haven't really played around with much with these. They're pretty much their own standalone. So we have, I believe this was the taller one. So it's 17 floors. And this one, the shorter one, is 12 floors, I believe, the difference. And the top 2 floors are pretty much like mechanical kind of spaces. And then this one's called Green Thumb Plaza, and this uses 3 of the shorter ones, so the 3 of the 12. So 2 of them are already finished building, and we're almost done with the 3rd one. This is a fully gated community, so this fence doesn't disappear. This fence does, just so you can't access it. So technically I can open the gate, but I can't get through this fence. So it is a gated community. Okay, so we're getting close. I'm going to slow down a little bit. Like I said, it works better if you make sure you're not going super speed. And it seems to be the last hour or so, they're almost like nothing is being built almost. Like all the small apartments just got the roofs, just came in, so there's not much else it's waiting for, right? Like I said, it should be finishing about 10:30, so we're hitting 9. And with these apartments, they all have a working air conditioning or ventilation system on the roofs. No, we're getting rained on. That's what I'm like. What's the noise? What's the noise? Of course, it's raining. Okay, so they've all finished. So let's just slow right down. So I was off by a half hour. I thought it was so about 14 hours it takes to build them. So you can see that it's dropped off to show off the plaza. It has a fountain or a water feature in the center with water in it. Like I said, this is a gated community. And like I said, the towers all have working exterior lights. Some of the windows light up for during the night. The apartments, you can see that all of them, they stayed lit up. I thought they were supposed to turn off, but anyway. I think they just glow in the night. They're technically a different texture, so they're white curtains, I think it is. I remember correctly. Yeah, so they're white curtains and dark curtains on the textures. So, and then they illuminate at night. So at nighttime, all the white curtain ones will be lit up. Okay, so nothing there. I'm just checking because, like I said, there's sometimes the stripes stay lit up, and then on the towers, there's been the random fence piece on the back. So no fences. So like I said, just make sure you slow down if you're speeding up time, and you shouldn't have any problems. So watch. Okay, thank you. Thank you for checking out Green Thumb Farmer.